So Paul Gallen is about to take New South Wales onto the ground, and they'll be met by a typical Queensland reception for a team dressed in sky blue. I don't know whether Cattle Dog will help. The famous call Cattle Dog, of course, for you people that are taking us in non-rugby league parts of the world, is the famous cry from coach Tom Raudonikis, who captained the first New South Wales side in 1980 against that team that was led by Arthur Beetson and coached by John McDonald.
And that was a call for his team to get aggressive immediately, retaliate first.
So all of the statistics, they seem to point towards Queensland, and adding weight to those statistics, Queensland won in Melbourne this year, and the stat shows that the team that wins in Melbourne go on to win the series. Petro takes to the Origin field for the last time. And even more daunting, if you follow New South Wales, is the fact the state winning game 1 of a series has gone on to win the series 22 of the 30 decided. And again, Queensland won game 1. Cameron Smith, the most capped of Origin number 9s. And it's his 6th captaincy tonight, as it is for Paul Gallen. Mal Meninga and his champion squad have already rewritten the history books of Origin. First it was 4, then it was 5, then it was 6. Will it be 7? Mal says he wants 10. 47th Origin to be played on this soil. The Maroons have won 28, the Blues 17. That's a scary stat. The anthem of Australia about to be rendered.
He took Australia by storm through his stunning performances on Channel 9's hit show The Voice, and has just launched his new single, In the Blowing Wind. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the Australian national anthem to be performed by Darren Percival.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are young and free, with golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is good by sea. Our lands abound in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains, and let us sing, advance Australia fair.
And that was Darren Percival with his rendition of the Australian national anthem. So the deck's about to be cleared, and I notice the Blues at the other end of the park going through some drills. Petro tonight, and the boys in the preview set this up. 33 Origins as he says goodbye to this arena of rugby league.
And right tonight, Johnathan Thurston, a milestone as well. 24 straight Origins in a row. That equals the record held by Gary Larson, great back rower from the Maroons. The only player in the Maroons lineup to have been in every match through their streak.
Johnathan will improve his points tally as well tonight, I feel sure, as he climbs the ladder of most points scored at Origin level. He'll move past Michael O'Connor. So the Maroons will run left to right. 52,500 people crammed into Suncorp Stadium.
Okay, stay behind.
Cameron Smith gets us underway. Series 31 for Harvey Norman about to be completed. Will they make it 7? And here is the big man, Grant, coming back with the first carry of the night. And Sivan Asiva, ironically involved with Thaiday, up in advance of him tonight. So the impact from Grant wasn't like it was on 7 receiver in Sydney. A little bit of protection, you might say, from Thaiday. Bird held in an upright tackle just outside the 20-metre line. This first 15 minutes, so important to get to your kick. No mistake football, no penalty football. Gallen playing it then, the captain. Taro, the cowboy, only the third to represent the Blues. Plays it on his red line. This is the last, the big kick for Payne, who moved in. He is the bigger kicker of the New South Wales kickers, and he drives it down to Greg Inglis. And Inglis coming out from fullback tonight is put away 25 away from his own line. Hodges dummy half, Tate to run. Both of those players were a little bit ginger on it in Sydney. Tate got up, didn't like the marker, didn't like Gallen. Gallen put one on him, that's all in back play. So the fisticuffs carry on, breaking up into 4 divisions. Tate got up having played the ball when he pushed Gallen. Gallen got a couple of paces away and went back, and he threw one, and that started it. This man 5, Tate for Queensland, and 13 for New South Wales.
We had 4 divisions. There was heavyweight, welterweight, the lightweight one going on the side. The Maroons had the football. And there's Brent Tate coming over to land one on the head of Greg Bird on the bottom of that. And you do not give away a penalty when you've got the football, whatever the circumstances.
Now watch Paul. He goes back.
Oh, well, it goes against the Blues here.
Well, it may, Sterlo. The thing that I'm going to be quite interested in is the decision that comes up on Tate.
If you go back to Michael Jennings sin binning in game 1, that's for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, mate. Yep. Gallen first punch. You got it?
You're right, you got it?
Yeah.
No one gets that one, mate.
No. Well. Yeah. Penalty go against you for the punch?
Yeah, what about him punching me in the plate?
No, I didn't see a punch on the plate. Penalty go against for the punch, mate. Leave it out of it.
So the penalty's going to Queensland. So they've got the first rub of the green. The punch over the top from Brent Tate. That has gone unchecked. And then Tate at marker pushing Gallen away, which inspired the New South Wales captain to land a punch on him. And that's what they've ruled on and given the penalty to the Maroons.
Well, you can see there, Brent Tate did throw the first punch, not that one, the one that connected with Paul Gallen. But anyway, that's gone now. 7 receiver inside the 30.
20 metre out. 20 metres in. Western side. And Miles is taken by Bird. Missiling in from out on the left side. Queensland then with the first chance. Pressure for the Blues. Short ball to Scott. And Matthew Scott. An emotional night, no doubt, for him. 2 metres from the line. Smith goes deep. Thurston goes across. Cronk is with the ball. Tries to sprint through. The gap is closed by Bird and Pearce. Thaiday then. Thurston now. Miles up the middle. So 5 metres out, tackle 5. Smith again. Behind Scott. Thurston rolls it in. And they're going to get a repeat set. Hayne is grasped in goal.
I'm just noticing Jared Hayne is playing on the right wing tonight, which is a change from the first 2 origins, meaning that the 2 Morris brothers are not playing together on that side of the field. Brett Morris has been moved over to his more favoured left side to play with Michael Jennings. There's the kick from Thurston, a nice one into the end goal. Hayne getting across to cover, but the Maroon defence is strong to block him in. And if you remember back to the decider last year, the way that Queensland dominated proceedings in the first 20 minutes, the Blues need their share of possession here. They can't let it happen again.
Hayne then with the drop kick, and it's favourable for New South Wales. It bounced past Cronk, and 7 receiver will be put down about 43 metres away from the New South Wales line. Scott it is with this carry. So the front row is back to back, and then a ball out the back, away through Thurston, gone on then, and it's Parker with the ball. Corey Parker just inside the 20-metre line. Blues into the ground. 20 in from the eastern side. Thurston to Cronk. Cronk inside ball. Miles is 12 out. The uprights right in front of him down the Milton Road end of the ground. Smith goes left side, goes behind and gets the ball away to Thurston. It's gone on to Corey Parker, but Parker is taken down by the Blues defence over in that corner. Josh Morris and Bo Scott, and here's a dummy from dummy half. And Smith was throwing dummies to Sivanasiva, taken by the marker Paul Gallen. Back deep from Corey Parker to the boot now of Cooper Cronk, an aerial, and Big Greg is up there. And it went forward off him. I think it'll go to the 20-metre line. It will for the restart.
Ray, you called the dummy there to Tetro Sivanasiva. I can't help but think, had Smith passed it to Sivanasiva, the big bloke would have crashed his way in. A knock on there against Inglis relieves the pressure for the Blues. I thought Petro could have scored.
Yeah, he could have, and I thought there was probably an opportunity as well for Corey Parker.
Morris is through, Wally. I'll come back to you. There's a sprint race on here, and it's Brett Morris inside the 20. Pulled down, 10 out. One of the identical twins, a great run. It's gone out towards his brother now. Carney's with the ball. Penalty New South Wales. He played the advantage.
Never made it.
And a decision to be made here. And you can see what the decision is from the sideline. The two fingers going up. They need to take the shot at goal. Players would have been half tempted to keep the pressure going there. They held firm at the other end. Brett Morris straight through. Flimsy defence there from Sam Thaiday. Greg Inglis couldn't take him, and he was run down from behind by Cooper Cronk and Johnathan Thurston. The halves combining to save the day.
I tend to agree too, Peter. Here's the offside, getting off the line too quickly on Carney. But they've just defended 3 or 4 sets of 6 in a row at their own end of the field. You might think it'd be an idea to get Queensland doing the same at their end. But the coach quite happy to take the 2 points and jump to an early lead. Nothing wrong with that strategy either, I guess.
So Todd Carney, his first visit to Suncorp in this atmosphere, and his kicking has been a little bit out of sorts through the series. This one straight over the black dot, and New South Wales take first points. Andrew John sideline.
Yeah, good way to get Todd Carney into the game. First touch, dummy and go, and then a kick for goal. We saw in the first game he was quite nervous. That'll settle the nerves.
How many times has it happened? Queensland had all of the advantages down inside New South Wales' 20, and then a long run from Brett Morris and the Blues in front 2-0. Mitchell Pearce asking Tim Grant to take it back this time. So the Penrith prop, one of 3 Penrith juniors in the Blues jumpers tonight, and Paul Gallen to ground. 20 metres out. His career in Origin started in 2006 when the dynasty started for Queensland. Greg Bird on the 30-metre line. Over the top, Hodges underneath Parker. He was the man that was offside back there, bringing the penalty to New South Wales, Corey Parker. Tamo now, put down by Sivanasiva and Parker and Farah. He sees an opening with the markers on one side, and he takes play out to the halfway line. So the last tackle is here for the Blues, and Carney, he puts it on the right foot and puts it down in between the winger and the fullback. And over there to heel it to a standstill is Boyd, and Boyd comes out and is taken by Jared Hayne about 12 metres out from his own line. Boyd then, who got a couple of tries in the first game of the series this year. That's Nielsen. He'll play the ball. 15 out, and they run away from the Caxton Street end. Miles again with what must be, I guess, its 4th or 5th carry in the match so far. Somewhat of a lucky charm for Queenslanders, Nate Miles, as Thaiday takes it ahead and runs over the top of Robbie Farah and Mitchell Pearce. Thaiday playing the ball in, and there's Sivanasiva going outside the 40-metre line. Greg Inglis was storming up, looking for a short ball from the prop forward. Cronk then, he puts the kick down the ground, going straight there down to Brett Stewart. And Stewart from Manly comes outside the 20, comes out towards the 30, up the middle of the ground.
Team will need you to hold.
Brett Stewart playing in his 4th Origin game. The custodian for the Blues. And it's played there by Josh Morris. He's wearing 4. Brett is wearing 5. 8th Origin for Brett Stewart, I beg your pardon. 4 tries, in fact, in those 8 Origins. And here is Farah, just dropping it down into the corner, nicely weighted. Tate passes, back to a man in goal. Greg Inglis, he bumps away from Pearce, coming in with Jennings. He couldn't put him away, and eventually it was left to Paul Gallen to wrap him up.
Listen to this atmosphere. I have never heard anything like this, and I've seen them all. This is incredible here tonight. Queensland do not want to let go.
Thurston on his 30, and he goes short to Corey Parker now.
There's an early kick there from Robbie Farah, just on the 3rd. It wasn't a great chase because the teammates didn't know it was coming. Matt Scott surges forward to his own 45. They'll be kicking from just inside the opposition half on the last. That's Nielsen.
Nielsen taken down.
We'll be very interested to see what happens the next time the Queenslanders go to the left-hand side. Every time they're going there, Corey Parker seems to be taking the ball forward.
Cronk with a little kick. Didn't get the bounce. Jared Hayne got the bounce and he runs it back to be taken on his own 40-metre line. Jennings has them guessing, but Tate is able to make the tackle right on the halfway line. Mitchell Pearce uses the blind side and Farrell's there. This is Brett Morris, and he'll play the ball 33 metres out from the Queensland line. New South Wales 2-0, penalty goal, kicked by Carney. Offside play against Corey Parker. Through 3 sets of hands, Carney gives it to Gallen, an inside run. And he was rattled up a bit by Scott, taken by Sivanasiva and Cronk. Farah then to Pearce, and he goes back in to Tamo, who flicks it out the back, and it's been pulled in by Gallen. 6 more tackles is called. They throw the ball, and it's Farah. Farah getting it to Jennings, and Tate is around the legs and pulls Michael Jennings down. Farah then for Tim Grant again, and he runs it straight up the middle, runs it at Cameron Smith. Sivanasiva tackling a lot, doing a lot of work blocking up the middle. Farah then to Carney to Stewart. Now it's gone away to Morris. That's Josh Morris struggling to free himself and struggling to get rid of the ball at the same time. Played over there. They keep going to the eastern side of the ground. Bo Scott, he's with the ball now from the Dragons. 15 metres away from the Queensland line. Hayne goes towards the short side, comes back open, and then Carney through to Pearce, and Pearce goes long. Jennings is with the ball. Jennings steps off his left foot and is tackled about 8 metres out from the line. That's the 4th tackle gone for the Blues. As it's played back to Brett Morris, he goes himself, goes over the line. Does he get the ball down? Referee's unsighted.
Just check the grounding, please.
Well, Queensland will have done very well to deny Brett Morris here because it is one-on-one. He's a big man. Again, the natives getting restless. They look certain to score. In fact, if Brett Morris had a pass the football,
can you check for
a teammate would have got over comfortably as well. All we do now is go upstairs to see if the ball has been grounded. Simple try. If it has been scored, Sam Thaiday.
Well,
no, that's a try.
Yeah, you can't believe that it hasn't touched the ground. He's rolled over there, and a little bit of flimsy defence on the Queensland line allowed Morris to get one-on-one, and he has surged his way to the end goal.
Does his best here, Sam Thaiday, but there he'll get a shot as the arm goes up, the ball is on the ground.
It's on the ground.
And that will be a green light with a kick to come. And a flying start for New South Wales. They've trailed at half-time in the last 8 games. They've lost 6 of those.
Now they're going through to check the brawl. I can't imagine that anything that happens here will have an effect on the try being scored because there's no indiscretion before the ball is grounded. I think that's just a bit of push and shove. But Brett Morris has had an explosive start to this Origin.
It's a try. Try to the Blues. taking us uninterrupted. 6-0 to score, and Todd Carney will attempt conversion of Brett Morris, the number 5's try just a matter of seconds ago. Back live at Suncorp Stadium in Brisbane. Brett Morris scoring his first Origin try. Todd Carney, 10 in, 20 out. 6-0. This to make it 8, and he's got it again, perfectly on line. So the Blues lead, early days, 8-0, 14 minutes down in Origin 3, the decider. This was it.
Yeah, he gets to the line quite comfortably here through Cameron Smith. Sam Thaiday did his best on the Keno replay. That's a worrying sign for the Queenslanders. Ricky Stewart, the interchange, rejoice.
It is with Grant again, who seemingly has been singled out to bring the restarts back into play, and Gallen, he'll play the ball on the 30-metre line, down their own end of the ground, obviously, and Farah, 35 away. On his own, he's lost the ball, Robbie Farah. And it'll be played by Miles, and Farah comes wobbling out of there.
Right there.
Now, this goes back to something we saw on Sunday, Ray. The New South Wales trainer Ron Palmer runs in immediately because he can see that Robbie Farah is a little concussed, and he wants to stop the play so that the Blues aren't defending with 12 men. There it is, head clash, bang. Head clash. Farah loses the ball. Ron Palmer, the New South Wales trainer, will come in and stop the play straight away.
The incident Gus is referring to out of Sunday's game, we asked the question, why does play stop? And the referees made it clear that once the trainer tells him the game has to be stopped, then that's the way he has to go, the referee. So you're relying very much on the honesty, if you like, and the scruples of the trainers.
Well, this is important that Robbie Farah gets up and plays on, because to lose the hooker with no specialist on the bench would be a huge blow for the Blues, but the tough little Tiger's up and on his feet.
And surely the Queenslanders will target him. That one run go. Next one, go straight at him. Run at him, make life difficult for Farah.
All right, let's watch this now as Scott plays the ball, and here's Smith coming across to the receiver, a decoy, and Thaiday, he's lost the ball, but it's come down to Greg Inglis, went backwards, and Inglis will play the ball 11 metres away from the Blues line. Cameron Smith to Nate Miles, and Miles 3 metres out. The Maroons, here they come. Thurston dummies to Sivanasiva, gives it to Cronk, and Cronk is put down by the Blues defence inside the 10. Dummy half is Hodges. Thurston first, Sivanasiva second, and the big man who has scored 1 try at Origin level is pulled down, inches out. Play the ball dubious. Now away to Thurston. Thurston has got them guessing. Inglis away. Nielsen with the ball. And that will be turnover to the Blues.
But it looked very, very dangerous. One more pass there and Queensland would have had their first try. Inglis just double pumps a little bit here before giving it on to Nielsen. The winger Boyd was open. Watch this. Had he gone long to Boyd, he'd have had a free run to the line.
The New South Wales player still down. Hurd after that. Super tackle from Josh Morris. It's Jared Hayne. You can see the grimace of pain on the face. He's on his feet now.
It was actually caused by one of his teammates, Sterlo, coming in desperate to stop the Queensland try. Made contact with him right in the middle of the back.
Wally Lewis in commentary with Phil Gould and Peter Sterling. Andrew Johns and Darren Lockyer on the sidelines. Paul Gallen, his normal self, his normal robotic self. Tim Grant taking a pummeling. 4 of the Queenslanders hit him simultaneously, and big men too. Maybe barring Cameron Smith. It's come away to Greg Bird. And Bird, who's been the recipient of 3 Man of the Match awards, along with Cameron Smith and Johnathan Thurston, involved in getting that play outside the 20-metre line. Now for Tamo.
That error from Robbie Farah, you could say a forced one. The first error in the game in the opening 15 minutes. Last tackle now against the Blues, deep in their own territory, and Mitchell Pearce kicks long, but straight to Brent Tate.
Tate from inside his 20-metre line. Went for traction, off the blocks, and just a little bit slippery on the top surface. Played then by Tate. And here is Hodges. Gallen leading the way with Tamo. And also involved the other prop forward, Grant, and he's given a penalty. Penalty goes to the Maroons. Too long in the tackle, Tim Grant on Justin Hodges.
Wally, we've seen Queensland now down on the New South Wales line a few times. They tend to scatter their attack from left to right. Is there a side that you would favour at this time?
I'd be coming to the right-hand side. When they're going to the left-hand side, it seems to be pretty well covered by the Blues defence, Gus as well, and we've got Corey Parker out on that side. I think they've got a golden opportunity to come back and use Hodges, his ability to be able to stand up players and use that right foot step.
So here's Queensland again. And played by Scott in the middle of the ground, and Sivanasiva drives it forward. Just outside the 10-metre line, right side for Thaiday, then to Krong. Here's Inglis, and well taken by Jennings and Bird. Inglis plays the ball. Hodges, a long pass away through Smith to Thurston. Thurston goes back on the inside for Corey Parker, and he's got the ball away. Smith was there waiting. Thurston, they've got an overlap. There's a chance for Boyd. Darius Boyd. I think it's another Origin try for him. It is. It's official. Put the name in the frame again. Boyd.
They've gone there a few times. This time a wonderful cutout pass from Johnathan Thurston gives Darius Boyd just enough space to sneak in the corner. They had success down that side in Melbourne in game 1. Boyd got a couple. Back on the inside here to Corey Parker. Superb offload. Caught New South Wales a touch napping, and Johnathan Thurston, bullet pass, and the winger outside Jared Hayne, strong enough to get the ball down.
For the record, that's his 9th try, Darius Boyd, at Origin level. He scored on debut here at this level of our game. He got a double on debut. He got a double in the first game this year. And of course, he has been playing for the Newcastle club this year, and at that time he was tryless. Well, there's the man that knows how to find the in-goal area at the right end of the park. Darius Boyd, his 14th Origin, his 9th Origin try. He's had a remarkable run of success with tries. 2 on debut, 2 in the first match this year, 1 tonight, and all of Queensland praying that he can score another as they go in search of 7 in a row. The decider. And this kick from Johnathan Thurston, I think, might take him past Michael O'Connor. I'll just check that. It will. There's the kick. It's on its way. He's got it. Has he got it? No, it's down. Flag's down. Just screwing it a little bit late. Darren Lockyer sideline.
Yeah, this is one of Corey Parker's greatest assets, is his offloads, the ability to get the ball away. And it was great reaction by the rest of the squad. Great ball from Johnathan Thurston. I thought Jared Hayne, this is the second time he's been caught a little bit out of position. Great work by Darius Boyd in the Keno replay.
The Blues restarting off the boot of Carney, and Sivanasiva brings it back. Phil Gould
Yeah, that was great work by Johnathan Thurston. That was the cutout pass that Inglis probably should have thrown the last time they visited that corner. Thurston would have seen that on the big screen and said, OK, give me a crack at it, and he got it 100% right.
But it was the same corner, in fact, that both you and Wally thought had he have given it to Sivan Receiver, he would have scored. I think it was Cameron Smith on that occasion. So that corner over there, the right corner for New South Wales, is proving a bit magnetic, and why wouldn't it? Here's Matt Scott upended and put away. Cameron Smith goes for a dummy half dart, and it's all easy meters. Very easy meters, and he's put down by the Blues number 17, which is Watmo. So Thurston kicking, Tamo going in for a charge down and pulling out of it. Now he left the field of play, Jared, so he's made his way back up the ground, 12 metres, and he's put away by Corey Parker over there.
The team always lifts on the back of points, and New South Wales players slow to get back. Still got some coming back past the play the ball.
Josh Morris that was, and there's the ball going back into Bird, who's his usual busy self as he is at origin level. Brett Stewart on his own 30-metre line in the 4X sign. The sponsors of the Maroons. Now here's Carney driving it down deep to Boyd. He comes off his 20, he comes out of 30, and Carney was there putting everybody on side, making the tackle. Queensland back on their own 40-metre line now. Thurston away to Nielsen in the black headgear. Johnathan in the maroon. And play creeping up to the halfway line. Sivan Receiver crosses that mark. And Watmo makes the tackle with Bird. This is Tate spinning it away to Smith, and it goes on to Thurston. Thurston then for Inglis. And Inglis, he got rid of Todd Carney. And going in as Farah, well, he's handling him with ease as well. Big run by Inglis.
He got rid of both Scott as well. That's no mean feat.
So they come away to Cronk, and here's Side-A. Ben Hannon is on. He turns it in for Hodges. Trouble for the Blues, but it's been taken by Watmo. And Watmo has been forced back, but I think he's still in the field of play with the ball.
Wow. I'm not sure Hodges needed to pass. I thought with his size and strength, he would spear towards the line. The New South Wales defence was disorganised because there'd been a little bit of a punch-up in back play, and they were still getting back. No, probably covered. But they covered the pass as well.
Payne inside his 10. And it's a penalty. He called Shillington for being inside the 10, but I think there were a couple of others.
Well, he was the man that you heard the referee allude to. It was a double change to get Hannon and Shillington on for the starting props moments ago. They did open up, and I think they were getting up because the play of the ball didn't quite happen when they were expecting to. They'll accept that with glee, the New South Wales side. Penalty count now 2-all.
Farah taking the tap. Watmo taking the first play.
Ray, I'm just looking at tackles inside opposition 20. It's been all Queensland. 16 opportunities inside the Blues 20-metre zone. They've only come up with the one try. The Blues only 4 tackles inside the Maroons 20 that have got a penalty goal and a try.
And Ben Cray is on the end of us, Cameron Smith's shoulder. So the coaches starting to rotate their forwards now. And here's Watmo in a 3-man driving tackle. The Manly back rower plays the ball. Farah snaps one down into the corner. Northwestern corner of the ground, and it's Greg Inglis who's been an absolute headache for them. Stopping him on the first is almost impossible. You've got to put numbers into the tackle. This is Tate, just outside their own 20-metre line. Hodges then, a run from dummy half, not uncommon. I think this is his 10th series, Justin. This will only be the second one where he's actually taken part in all 3 games. Played then by Shillington. Smith scooping it away. Hannant, who's got himself a couple of Origin tries. One, of course, in the second game in Sydney, right on half-time. Cronk it is, now driving it down deep into the corner for Brett Stewart. So here comes Brett. And brought down on his own 20-metre line after a good chase by Parker and Hannant, the forwards. And here's Hayne dancing up towards Cameron Smith. To no effect at all, really. Smith just simply bear-hugging him and taking him to ground. And here's one of the Morrises bringing it out. It's Brett Morris on this occasion. Just looking for some distinguishing features.
And Dave Shillington's eyes lit up when he saw the winger coming. Ben Cray now over halfway.
To the middle of the ground, in fact.
There's some heavy contact here. Not surprised that he stayed down.
He sort of lunged at the line. He might have knocked himself out here, Ben Cray. And this is an interesting part of the game. New South Wales going only with 2 front rowers. Look at that, he launches himself in there and runs into the knee, I think, of Shillington, and just completely knocks himself out. Here it is again, Shillington the 17. He's out cold. And Cray was expected to be able to spend a lot of time in the front row to relieve Grant and Tamau of some duties.
Well, I think if he's going to spend some time in the front row there, you can be guaranteed that the opposition front rowers will be going into that scrum head first with a bit of a target. Split on the head, some concerns. Obviously duck off and get it stitched up and be back.
I need you to hold. Wait till he plays the ball.
Tony Archer. There's plenty of claret coming from the head of Ben Cray. Tony Archer just saying to Paul Gallen, who's moved up to play the ball, this is the last coming up.
They are using an interchange here with James Tamau coming back in.
On that halfway there, last tackle. Just going back on halfway.
Relatively short break for him.
Yeah, push up there. Wait, no, back there.
Archer in his 13th appearance as a referee. Cummins in his 4th. And straight away they have to go to their kick. And Pearce it is that drives it down, but Boyd, the blokes in the backfield for Queensland, it's very hard to avoid them. It's all very easy for us to sit up here and say, kick to the Seagulls, as Jack Gibson famously once said to his number 7, Peter Sterling. Tate, Inglis, Boyd. Oh! Came up hard, burn, Friday. And I think the tackler probably felt it more than the carrier. Friday plays it. Hannant running strongly and running it at Watmo and Tamo.
I thought Queensland were in trouble 10 or 15 minutes into this game, but they've really worked their way back into it. Cameron Smith now not waiting till the last, drives it in the corner for Brett Stewart. The chase is good. Body language has really picked up from the home team.
Well, this has been their favourite compartment of the field. The bottom right-hand edge for New South Wales. They've come out of there so many times. Josh Morris with the ball now.
And the Blues very bunched. They're fatigued. They're really hurting at the moment. The whole game has been played at their end of the field, and they're just hitting it up one out, being easy meat for these Queensland players. Ascendancy with the Maroons at the moment.
Here's the Blues with a little bit of relief. And Bird it is that takes it towards halfway. Having said that, Gus, the tackle count 125 thereabouts for both. And they've both had 12 uses for 11 completions.
There's Inglis winding up. Got a bit of room over there as well.
And whoever it is that goes in head on, he treats them like a front-end loader and shovels them down the ground. Doesn't matter how big you are either. He's a giant of a man. The number 1 for Queensland tonight.
And I get the feeling that Greg Inglis is sizing up Todd Carney. They really haven't attacked Carney all that much through the 3 games. And it'll be just like Greg Inglis to say, well, tonight's the night. He made a beeline for him there.
Miles on halfway. Oh, Shillington! I thought he was going to get it back in. No advantage there to the Blues. I will think he'd put a scrum down, and he will. Knock on by David Shellington from Canberra.
And that's not where a front row wants the ball delivered, as Tony Williams, aka T-Rex, starts a bit of a chant. There's not a lot of Blue support here, but they're keen that he's about to come in. Very little football this year. Came back from injury to play 80 minutes against the Roosters and was unstoppable. And you would expect to be used for 25, 30 minutes tonight by Ricky Stewart. The Blues feed. 42 from their own line.
Pearce coming to a pre-arranged blindside play to Brett Morris, and then it's with Jennings running across the ground to Carney, and then it's gone on. Stewart away. Josh Morris is with it. He got rid of Thurston with a shoulder. He'll play the ball 37 away from the Maroons line. This is territory down here that the Blues have not seen much of. Both Scott struggling to get inside the 30-metre line. Farah drifting across, going back to Pearce. I saw Farah go to ground late. It's Jennings with the ball now. And Jennings will play the ball just outside the 20-metre line. Stewart is the dummy half, and he runs a couple of paces, goes to Gannon. Back to Williams, and Williams was taken by Hodges, then by Thaiday, got the ball away. Pearce stands up, unloads to Watmo. Ball went away from the hooker Farah. Gone on to Carney, rolls it in behind Boyd. Boyd cleans it up, Hayne takes him, and Queensland are back on their own line now. First touch by Williams, and something positive came from it.
I was just about to say, imperative Queensland put pressure on the kicker when the fifth tackle came around. That wasn't the case. They put the ball along the ground in New South Wales, and I think it's a bit of an escape route for Queensland.
Shillington back on his 10-metre line. Miles, and for him that's his 8th carry in the game. Just inside the 20-metre line down their own end. Cronk, and he went away to Thurston. Thurston into the backfield, over halfway. It's gone to Tate. There's trouble here. Here comes the defence of Carney. Carney across the ground like lightning. Now Thurston, now Inglis. Then it's gone to Parker. Got the ball back to Thurston. Thurston scores. Johnathan Thurston becomes the second highest point scorer in our game. A try that started with Thurston way back on the 30-metre line. His own end of the park.
And on the right side of the field for Johnathan Thurston. Lovely play from their own end. Second man to Thurston, throws the dummy, got on the outside of the New South Wales defender. He had lots of support. He knew he was getting run down from behind. Gave it to Brent Tate. And then Cooper Cronk was claimed. It's the last tackle. I thought Corey Parker had bombed a try. He had 2 unmarked men, but he got an offload away, and Thurston scores closer to the posts.
So 8 all. Thurston, it was started by their halves, back on their own 20, and it ended after one tackle, 80 metres down ground. Johnathan Thurston will attempt conversion of his own try, and he really put an indelible mark on the try, didn't he? It was him that busted back on his own 20. He's now gone past Michael O'Connor. He's second only to Mel Meninga as the point scorer, the highest point scorer. Darren Lockyer sideline.
That is a massive, massive play by Johnathan Thurston. They were on the ropes, Queensland, then on tackle 4. He's come from the other side of the field to create this break. And they summed it up pretty well from here. Cooper Cronk did the right thing, took the tackle. As you see in the Keno replay, they shifted left where the numbers were, and Parker again gets the offload. Great work, Johnathan Thurston.
That's one of the real marks of courage in Origin. There's a penalty against New South Wales, kicking out on the full, unforgivable.
Smart play by Thaiday.
Thurston wants to get on with it. But that's one of the real courage aspects of Origin. Not only to get up when you're hurt, but to attack from your own end of the field when you're tired. And Queensland have been lethal at that right throughout Origin history. They ignore the fatigue and they chance their arm. And as Darren Lockyer pointed out, that was all Thurston. Came from his side of the field to the other and said, let's get out of here on my back. Brilliant effort.
And that's a bloke, Gus, that didn't make a break in the first 2 games. The New South Wales defence was all over him. They didn't offer him any time or space at all. He's certainly enjoying game 3.
What a huge 5 minutes we've got coming up going into the break.
And we all know what the 5-minute period coming into the break normally provides.
The danger period.
The danger period, the vital 5 minutes. Miles is 18 metres out from the goalposts on the Blues line. Here is Cronk turning it in for Thaiday. 8 metres away. Cronk is setting it up on the right side. They go to Hodges, and Hodges runs it out to the open. Hannett ran a decoy. Hodges! Hodges scores! The Blues are appealing to obstruction.
Well, basically, I don't think you can do it. I don't think you can run behind your own man. And back in the day, this was just a shepherd. Hannett mistimes the run. Hodges goes around them, but they will be conjecture now as to anyone who was impeded. But the defence shouldn't have to anticipate that Hodges is going to run behind this man. Mind you, he's not impeded. The defence has gone up.
No, Bo Scott's the key man here. The number 11 for New South Wales. Justin Hodges knew he was in trouble too. He falters when he starts to go behind. But Bo Scott comes in and then changes his line to get back on the outside, but Justin Hodges is too quick for him and he can't regather lost ground.
When you were growing up, Peter, could you run behind your own man?
No, it's a lay down as their shepherd, but these days how much space is there between the runners, and I don't think Bo Scott should have had to have made that decision to go in the first place, and he just didn't have the speed to recover.
Well, he shouldn't have to anticipate that Hodges is going to run behind his own man.
Oh, that's right, Gus. And I think when you're making a decision like this, you can say, well, we'd love it. Queensland would love to have the try, but if it happened to us, against us, we'd be saying no try.
It is a try to Queensland. Stephen Clark, the man in the judge's box tonight, and that undoubtedly will be one of the minutes of this game that will be talked about. So it's 14-8 as we welcome you back to Origin 3, exclusively live on the 9 network around Australia and to many, many countries around the world. Queensland were down 8-0. They scored 14 unanswered points. And Johnathan Thurston is about to try and convert the try that will be talked about as one of the interesting decisions of the game in the aftermath. Thurston adds another 2. So 16 plays 8. Queensland over New South Wales, 3 minutes away from the half-time break.
Well, it's been all the Maroons for the last 20 minutes of this first half. The Keno replay shows Hodges scooting over. I don't know. Where I grew up, that's just a shepherd. They put a different twist on it these days.
Shillington. Hannah.
Up now, keep coming, James. Hold, go.
Thurston. Parker. Yeah, in the old rules, all you had to consider was the defence impeded? And the answer to that question is when a player runs behind his own, there's a very good case to be made that he was impeded. It comes out of the grasp of Hannett when T-Rex hit him, Tony Williams.
It was a good shot, this. Just banged him. The ball came loose.
There it is again, these tries that keep coming in Origin, in that little mini period before half-time. That's the shoulder from Williams. And out popped the ball from the polar bear. What is with it now? We've got 2.5 minutes to the break. And the Blues on a rare visit down here. Williams trying to shoulder away. Got one out the back. Well done. Pearce floats one out to Carney. Carney throws one low, and it's taken over there by Beau Scott. And here's Pearce now, trying to get them going. Josh Morris, Jared Hayne. Hayne on his own down the right side. 8 metres away from the line. This is the last tackle. The kick will come with it. It's come to the second kicker, and that's Farah. And Farah puts it in. Up goes Brett Morris. It came off Queensland hands, and they put it dead. So they'll get another set, and they will have time for one more set.
And a crucial part of the game. Queensland scoring in the last minute before half-time of game 2. They have posted the last 3 tries in this game so far. The Blues really with a minute and a half here to try and hit back.
Friday night, we'll televise that local derby between West Tigers and the Canterbury Bulldogs in the football stadium. So timer's back on. And here's the dropout from Cameron. It's gone 48 metres and 1.25 minutes left to half time, with Gallen about to play the ball. Down on the 30-metre line. Not a bad place for tackle 1. And Tamo, he'll play. Oh, it's come out. Was it Pinch? No. He tried to pass it, said Tony Archer. So Hodges is with the ball for Queensland now. Tamo tried to squeeze almost the impossible ball out. And Tate, and by the way, it was the second tackle when James Tamo tried what I think is almost right, the impossible pass. Play by Shillington on the 40-metre line. Smith goes to a second man. Thurston. So Queensland now have got 35 seconds on the halfway line, and they give it to Parker. And I wouldn't be surprised if they try one shot with Greg Inglis on this last play. It's come across for Miles, shaping to kick, and he's dragged down. So the last, and he's gone for a shot at goal. Cameron Smith, that is, a field goal. And Brett Stewart will run the ball back and be taken by the Maroons. And that is half-time. With Queensland defending their championship. 6 times they've won it in a row. And they lead 16-8 at half-time. And welcome back to Suncorp Stadium in Brisbane. Following the half-time break. And they're in a happy mood after they got a bit of a shock to the system, the ardent Queensland fans. New South Wales getting out to an 8-0 lead, and then they go to the break and come back 16-8 down. 3 tries to Queensland, and Thurston converted 2 of them. So 16-8 is the score. The blind auditions are back. The Voice US is the name of the program, with Christina Aguilera, CeeLo Green, and Maroon 5's Adam Levine. Over 3 massive nights on Channel 9. Voice US starts Monday at 7. Maroons, call the Maroons. That fellow, obviously, the group that he belongs to, Adam Levine, thinks it's Maroon. Right now the Queenslanders don't really care. They're 8 points in front after being 8 behind. And Brett Morris went over to score at the 13th minute. Carney had already kicked the penalty. He converted the try. Just repeating, Queensland 3 tries. Thurston converted 2. Some people thought that there was 3 goals for Thurston, but as I thought it was going through, it just swung away late, and waved away.
Right, both coaches have kept fresh players. Queensland, Matt Gillette and Ben Teo, the young men, still to come into this game. And Luke Lewis, I thought he was just about their best player in game number 2. Didn't see any game time. Get underway, second half, the boot of Todd Carney.
This ball going down towards David Shillington to bring it back for the Maroons. Heavy discussion here in the press division during the half-time break over the validity of the Hodges try. And here is Thurston taken down just outside the 30-metre point. Miles it is that takes it up to the 40-metre line, where he's held there by Watmo and Gallen and also Scott. Now it's with Shillington, and he's up towards halfway. That obstruction rule, if you're clear on it, says the ball carrier cannot run behind his own team and gain an advantage. So I think the question is, well, what is a try if it's not an advantage? And we've already heard Phil Gould talking about it and reading the rule at half-time. It's pretty hard to disagree with it. Here's Gallen, but it shouldn't be taken as sour grapes in any shape or form, because Queensland are out there at 16-8. That's what the scoreboard says. And Tamo is with the ball for the Blues, almost in the centre of the paddock. Shouldn't call it that, but I mentioned at the top of the show, this of course was where Origin was born, when it was Lang Park. And Big Arthur led the Maroons out there for something that many of the skeptics said wouldn't work. Was not doing a bad job. Watmo's in a problem area down there, and here's Thurston snapping up loose ball, but it was also snapped up quickly by the New South Wales defence of Stewart. This is Nielsen from Melbourne.
Watmo making his way back into the defensive line. Sorry, Ray. And poor kick there from New South Wales. Queenslander regathered by Johnathan Thurston. That's just the second tackle, and Watmo struggling 3 in from the far side.
So Smith, they're heading over there, but now they turn it back and come to Miles. Inglis would like to get a chance on Watmo right now, wouldn't he? He's over in that same compartment of the ground. Here's Corey Parker getting rid of a tackle and then flicking it out the back, and now Thurston. Thurston, they're allowing him to dictate. Here's Inglis on Jennings, or Jennings on Inglis, and getting it away. He's proving unstoppable every time he's halted in any shape or form. It's an upright tackle, but it's not decisive. Now Tate. Oh, knocked on by Cronk. Not a good pass from dummy half. Andrew Johns, the injury situation at halftime.
Yeah, Ben Cray at halftime, that head knocker when he come off, it's a 20-centimetre gash to his head. I'll say that again, 20-centimetre. He's got a headgear on, he'll come back on. A lot of courage there.
Scott playing it back on his 20-metre line, and Gallen puts that left shoulder out as a bumper bar as he's met by 4 of the Maroons. Well, Mal Meninga was saying during the week that we have to be more aggressive with our defence. We've been out-muscled. The number of times I've seen 3 and 4 Queenslanders in the tackle is quite incredible, really. They've answered the coach's call. Here's Anthony Watmo. Taking play just into Queensland's half. Origin 96. The back of series 31 as Carney kicks. Tate with it. Mitchell Pearce was called out. You would have heard the referee. Tamo making the tackle on Brett Tate, and now Shillington. Smith again. Cross to Cronk. On to Hodges. Hodges is picked up by Jennings. Down in the Harvey Norman side, the major sponsor of Origin football. Thurston at side A. Smith, Cronk. Cronk had a selection of forwards to go to. Took the tackle. 5 tackles gone then. 1 kicker out of it. Thurston's there. He puts a banana kick down in the direction of Stewart. Stewart held inside the 10-metre line.
Well, it was a perfectly worked kick. He knew exactly where Inglis was, and Inglis knew where the kick was going, and very nearly got there in time before Brett Stewart grabbed it. The Blues going nowhere here. There seems to be no plan B to get out of trouble. They're very bunched behind the play the ball. There's no shift in their game like the Queenslanders can produce.
Tamo, he had it. A hot potato, he juggled it and got it back in.
Look how bunched they are behind the play the ball. And they're not going to go anywhere in that formation. They've got to get themselves out and move the ball. A lucky penalty here.
Those are the sort of things that are so important in this game. Piggyback sets. A number of tries that are scored on the second set. Line dropouts, penalties at the back end of the count, all of those things. They're the important things.
Yeah, they're gold, those, getting penalties late in the count. Luke Lewis into the game now. Bo Scott has come off. New South Wales need to produce something here. Paul Gallen, as usual, leading the way, bouncing off one. Straightening before he's claimed by Hannett and co.
So Lewis going on. Watmo with the ball. And he gets the ball out the back, and Farah immediately gives it to Big Tamo, and he's down 12 out. They're running towards the Milton Road end now. Farah goes to Carney. Carney pulled down. 7 away. Farah looking around. Pearce. Now it's come back on the inside again for Tamo. That's the 4th tackle for New South Wales. Deep into Queensland territory. Farah, he puts a little kick in. Stewart had scored. Well, they're going upstairs. Stewart, he's a specialist at this. He might have got his 5th Origin try.
And so too is Robbie Farah. We see him come up with this play for the Tigers time and time again. It's just a matter of the player knowing it's coming, and Brett Stewart obviously did. And he's way onside. And it looked as though he got a very, very good handle on the ball to get it down before the dead ball line. It was imperative the Blues scored next, and they have.
So there is no question about onside. Blues have scored.
But he's breaking down play, mate, straightforward.
Well, this kid, he's been the centre of much controversy in our game. He's the poster boy of rugby league. He got into all sorts of trouble, according to some people. But nobody's ever doubted his ability to play football and score tries. Manly's Brett Stewart has combined with Robbie Farah to score his 5th Origin try in his 8th Origin game, and it came on the back of that penalty that was on the back end of the tackle count. They're so important at Origin, as we said, or Peter said, the back-to-back and the receive of the ball from the line drop, all that sort of stuff. 2 sets. You need 2 sets. Andrew John sideline.
Yeah, that's what you get for stability in your spine. Sticks solid with these blokes. This isn't a call, this is a wink or a nod. They knew this. They've been working this at training on the Kuno replay. The 1, 6, 7 and 9. Stick solid with those guys, they can come up with points. Beautiful kick, Robbie Farah.
It's the first time since 2003 that the Blues have fielded the same fabric that Andrew's talking about. 1, 6, 7 and 9. They call it the spine.
Plus, they also know that there's no Billy Slater at the back. They've got a new fullback in Inglis, and look out.
Oh, here's a knock-on by New South Wales. And Hammond has got the advantage for the Queenslanders immediately onto the attack.
Dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Miles. 15 out from the line. Smith across to the 7th Crock and onto the 6th Thurston. Back he goes to Inglis. Here's the big man, got rid of Carney. He'll play the ball 5 away. Smith again. And with Thurston this time. And Gallen making the tackle in combination with Watmoe. And Smith again to Cronk. And Cronk turns it into Miles. Miles is 8 metres away from the try line down at the northern end of the ground. Penalty against the Blues.
Well, very interesting decision here for Queensland. I don't know that a 4-point lead is any better than a 2-point lead. If I'm New South Wales, I want Queensland to kick for goal.
I'll talk to you later about it. I'll talk to you about it later.
So if you're Queensland, you've got to be thinking you'll do the opposite. I think the Maroons should tap and run here.
Cameron.
Nate Miles involved in getting that penalty as the referee signals to the posts. Throw over 2 points in. He's been magnificent, Nate Miles, tonight. Obviously, Greg Inglis and Johnathan Thurston and the like have led the way, but Miles, superb in the opening 50 minutes. And Alan Langer ran on to tell the players that the decision should be to take the 2 points.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah, Tony Williams gets close to the sideline here and throws it back to Michael Jennings, who was enveloped straight away by Justin Hodges. That was before they got to the first tackle after scoring points.
I'll tell you what's interesting about it. Alfie used to just tap and go.
Exactly. He hates kicking for goal. I will say, too, that I pointed out earlier that Greg Inglis is lining up Todd Carney. He absolutely shoved him away there earlier when he targeted him on this left-hand side. Here we go, Rabbits.
Thurston for the 2. And just a formality for a man of his calibre. So Queensland with another 2 on the board, 18-14.
I'll be absolutely amazed if the Queenslanders throw a dodgy pass in this next set of 6. First thing that you talk about while you're going back waiting for your kicker to put the ball between the posts is let's have a safe 5 tackles, get into good field position and kick to a corner. Take no chances.
Well, they got you there. Were you surprised with that decision?
Pretty much so. I thought that they could have been able to throw a knockout punch.
Here's Shellington. Let me ask you this. When you were playing outside Alfie, and we always seem to see Alfie duck up and take the kick, did you ever get a chance? Did he ever consult anybody?
I don't think he took any notice of me anyway.
Fair enough.
Most of his decisions were wrong.
He certainly didn't wait for a call from the sideline, did he?
So here's Shillington now. Oh, Miles it is, inside the 30-metre line, and Peter made comment of Nate's performance. It's been absolutely workhorse-like, Clydesdale-like, if you understand what I mean, without taking exception to it. Now the kick from Cameron Smith. Oh, it's a different way of trapping the ball, but Stewart did that.
That was quite creative, wasn't it? He ran with all intention to put his hands on it, and then the ball just landed right between his ankles and stopped right there. Let's have a look here. He runs up and then, look, very nicely done. Nearly tripped over it.
Now, if he'd have flicked his feet up, so it came up over the back of his head and gone, that would have been impressive.
Well, that would have been 9.9 right across the board.
That would have been Ronaldo.
Here is Farah coming back to Carney. Now to Luke Lewis. He's made some differences in Origin games. In fact, he's the only Blue out there that's experienced a series victory. Here's the ball coming away to Stewart and going on. Out to Lewis. Lewis is inside the 30-metre line. He gets the ball away to Josh Morris. Josh Morris going down the field. And he's not held. He gets up and goes again. And Josh Morris will play the ball. 3 Queenslanders in the tackle again. And you can see the proximity to the corner post. It's gone from Carney, gone to Pearce. Now it's with Farah. He puts a kick in. It's dribbling down to Tate. And Tate is there to take it with consummate effort.
Yeah, that kick wasn't as good as the one that put Brett Stewart in for the try. Pretty much surrendered possession when they needed to keep the pressure on. Greg Inglis lifted up and driven backward. Matt Scott about to come on for another stint. Still no Teo or Gillette for the Queenslanders.
Hannon. Blues really put a shot on Greg Inglis with that last tackle. Oh, Shillington running straight at Gallen and just basically trampling over the top of this courageous captain. There he is making another tackle. Gallen. Hodges was the man. Smith getting it away. Dubious ball picked up by Gillette. And Gillette puts a kick on it. It's taken then by Pearce. It's taken by Cronk. from an onside position.
Move there, on the mark.
Brett Morris, just outside 30. Blues with Williams now. He beat Tate and is taken by Thaiday and Scott.
Ray, the Blues still need to form some attack at their own end of the field. They really just run one out when they're down this end. It puts no pressure on Queensland whatsoever.
There's Watmough. I'm just looking at Tony Williams. He's walking away very slowly from an incident back there. He has a kind of back problem. Here's Hayne, right in the middle of the ground. This is the last tackle coming up for the Blues. And Carney, he stabs it down, but he stabbed it perfectly to Boyd.
The last two kicks from the Blues have been very, very poor. That one was neither here nor there and just turns over possession, good field position to Dane Nielsen. Back to Cameron Smith, he's into space.
Oh, it's strolled down through a gap, and he beats another. It's Cameron Smith giving it to G.I. Greg Inglis, he's pulled down. Did he get it over the line? No, he did not.
Go right.
So Greg Inglis, Thurston, it's an awful pass, and the Blues have got it, I think.
Oh, it's got to be a penalty.
Well, he's rolling a blue ball. The crowd don't like it.
Right, I think Greg Inglis scores if not for the posts, the pads around the posts.
Well, the rules used to be if you went up against the post, Sterlo, you could be about a foot short. In the old terms, if you put it up against the pads, it was officially a try. Not so.
Jennings, Pearce, Gallen.
Yeah, but now they're 3 feet in diameter.
Farah raking it across, and it'll find the line at the 30-metre junction down the Queensland end.
But again, Queensland willing to attack from their own end of the field. The Thurston try in the first half and nearly the English try there. They're showing a lot more creativity and flair at their own end of the field, and the Blues just don't do that. The Blues just bunch up and want to hit it up one out. And this is nearly the second try from their own end of the field tonight. That's the difference.
He looks
the courage to play the game from your own end.
He looks certain to score. What an effort from Josh Morris to get back.
Brilliant.
In fact, both the Morris boys were involved in the tackle.
Queensland, obviously, they were left with the advantage there. I think if it had come to a second decision, they probably would have appreciated a penalty. It would have taken them to a 6-point lead.
That means any doubt they should have got one, right?
Shillington shoveling it. Smith short, Scott. And Matthew, who lost his mum just a couple of weeks ago. As I said earlier, an emotional game for both him and Robbie Farah. And here's Corey Parker. Play pretty much on the halfway line, and Thurston drives it down into a big hole between the fullback and the winger. It's Stewart, and he's gone looking for the ground and making sure that he wasn't forced in goal. Now it's back with Brett Morris.
Well, if you compare that to the last 4 kicks from New South Wales, that was 8 or 9 out of 10. Blues have come up with 2 and 3s.
Jennings. Stewart again. Comes to Scott. And he's driven down eventually by the force of the Corey Parker tackle. Gallen. And Paul will play the ball held upright. On the 30-metre line. Last tackle for the Blues, kicking just outside the 30-metre line, and Greg Bird puts it way down the ground, but Greg Inglis doesn't have to move far to his right. And here he is coming back, and always the first man in is bouncing away like a skittle. Played by Inglis. Hodges now. Right on the halfway line.
He's got to get up his way, mate.
Sivanasita back in his second session. Undoubtedly his last.
Paul, they've got to get quicker.
So here is Teo on debut. This is the young man who basically won his position at the expense of David Taylor. Thurston, that ball has been knocked on. It came off the hands or fingers of Matt Gillette and went forward, so the Blues will get the loose head and feed about 25 out from the line.
Well, it's been a marvellous series, hasn't it? So close in game 1. Game 2 went down to the wire. Now with 20 minutes to go in the series and the series on the line, there's still only 4 points of difference. The champions, the title holders in front. The challengers, the Blues, looking for something. They can't mount an attack at the moment. There's been no play at the Queensland end of the field, it seems, for an age.
Queensland has led 39 times in Origin for 32 wins. That's at half-time if they've led. They've won 32 from 39. And the Blues, playing catch-ups, have been successful on 7 occasions. Friday night football, as I said, a big one down in Sydney. West Tigers up against the Canterbury Bulldogs. Friday night at Allianz. Grant playing it, a couple of metres into Queensland's territory. Long way from over this one. Inside ball, lost by Gallen to the ground. No advantage Queensland yet. Nielsen now takes the advantage. No, he's ruled they've got no advantage. Ben Cummins ruling that way. Ricky Stewart, of course, ruling the roost from the sideline tonight.
And that's about the 4th time in a row that New South Wales have turned the ball over 60 metres out from their own line. A couple of really ordinary kicks, a couple of lost balls. And every time Queensland get it, well, they're the only team playing any attacking football. It's got to tell in the end. It's got to tell.
Disappointed or despondent? I'm not sure which is the best word for the coach at the moment.
Well, the Blues defence is just starting to tire a little. Keep your eye on Johnathan Thurston. He loves to try and target some of the tired defence.
Get up, mate. You're too slow.
Right.
You're lining all the rocks. Get up.
There's a comment from Tony Archer that concurs exactly with what Wally Lewis is talking about. A couple of forwards, although Luke Lewis is not one of them that should be tired, but too late in retiring from the tackle. The London Olympic Games, they're not far away. You can watch it all right here on Channel 9, your official broadcaster of the London Olympic Games. In fact, I leave on Saturday and we'll be covering the swimming for you from the Games of London. Should be an amazing spectacle. And if you're wondering why I'm leaving so early, I'm going by boat. Matthew Scott. And he goes over and he goes, oh, Crump might have taken an accidental hit here from Williams. I thought when I saw it that, hello, now they're starting to break up. They're starting to break up into a bit of a fracas.
You know better than that. Walk away, Greg. We've already got it, mate. We've already got it. What do you think we stop playing?
Justin Hodges and Greg Bird have been at each other all night. As soon as there's a huddle, they find each other. And
well, there was contact made there. I don't think even the staunchest Blue supporter would deny that, but that was an accident. He certainly did slip under. However, contact made, a penalty is given.
Well, that's exactly right, Wal. You know, accidental or not, you can't make contact with the bloke's head. And I made the comment immediately, accidental, and I feel...
Very simply, it's a high tackle. He's made contact with the head, it's a penalty.
Hodges made contact with T-Rex in the first half.
Well, we're not going with it. This is a high tackle.
So Paul is challenging under the heading of consistency. I don't think Tony Williams is like that, is he?
As you heard, he said that Justin Hodges hit Tony Williams high in the first half. The referee said, we're not going back to that.
Exactly.
Tony Williams does do that a little bit. He dangles his right arm out. He's been suspended a couple of times and charged. That right arm does get a little bit loose. I admit that's an accident. He slipped, but he has got a little bit of that in his game.
He's got a bit of form. I remember now he has a bit of form, but I will defend him here. I do think that was an accident.
Yeah, he is a bloke that the little men that are running with a good sidestep, they try to target him. because they do realise that he does give away a penalty or two, and you can't blame them for doing it, but that was a dead set accident.
That's brave. If they target him so they can get hit on and get a penalty.
Well, you've got to take a bullet for the team, Rob, don't you?
Yes. Now, you would expect Johnathan Thurston to kick this, and whilst Queensland aren't a team that necessarily kick field goals, all of a sudden that becomes a real possibility as the clock winds down.
Johnathan Thurston, who's eclipsed Michael O'Connor and the most number of points scored at Origin. He's gone to number 2 behind Mal, who's out in front on 161. And there's Johnathan Thurston with the flags in the air. It's 20 plays 14, 64 minutes gone. Now we're getting down towards field goal territory.
Well, we're certainly in the championship rounds. That's where we are. The Blues have had no attack in the second half. They've got to find some field position.
Just looking at that shot, that full screen shot of Johnathan Thurston, and my mind rushed back to the scenes here last year when he was brought out on the wheelchair, or in the wheelchair, for the Darren Lockyer farewell.
Smoking the paint pot.
Yeah, and he obviously was in awful pain with hyperextension of that knee. So he's had a taste. He's looking like he's going to get a taste of the agony and the ecstasy, but they are not there yet. It's 20 plays 14, and Thurston's with the ball, and he turns it in for Gillette. In his 4th Origin game. Now it's gone away from the boot of Cronk and down for Stewart. And he's taken there by Boyd and flung to the ground. Play by Jared Hayne. Here's Lewis, and Lewis pulled down by the fresh legs of Matt Gillette. And this is Farah, who goes back to Lewis. And the Blues shut down by Thurston right here on the western side of the ground. And running with the ball is Josh Morris. Steps 1, beats Petro, as taken by Thurston.
That's about the first time Petro's missed tonight. He's been colossal.
Pearce, high, spiralling across the ground. Taken by Jennings. And Jennings it is that comes in a half circle. Back towards Carney. Carney stands, looks to unload. And Scott got a hand on it. And that will be the Blues ball.
Yeah, that's poor play from Matt Scott. That was the last tackle. They weren't really going anywhere. No one was shaping to kick. And this is a great opportunity for the Blues. Good ball at the right end of the field. He was never going to get that, Matt Scott.
Well, this is their first opportunity, really, of the entire second half. Centre field scrum 30 metres out. There should be a set of 6 in the kit bag here to get the try they need. Thaiday feeling a little cramp.
Queensland, they're not absolutely sure that Matt Scott knocked on, and when you saw it on slow-mo, there was probably a case to be made exactly that way. But Tony Archer, he said, no, a knock on.
This ground is just a sea of maroon, isn't there? There's a spattering of blue here and there, but it's predominantly maroon.
It's one together.
They certainly got all the tickets tonight, the Queenslanders.
England, Australia, the one-dayer from Edgbaston following Origin.
Well, guys, not much has been going right for the Blues in the second half. Very poor field position, but if they can get themselves into a great spot here at the moment and get a converted try, they're going to gain enormous confidence from this.
Bird.
Hold, Petro, Matt, hold!
Well, it wouldn't be Origin with a grandstand finish, or without a grandstand finish, I should say, and haven't there been some? So it's gone away to Grant, run around Farrow, and around goes Pearce, and then it's a play by Lewis that's gone to ground. Touched by Thaiday. Did it go forward from Lewis?
Ball pass first.
Yes, it did. Queensland will get the ball.
Petro. Keep it cool.
Well, there wasn't much speed in that play, and Luke Lewis was forced to bounce back in field off his right foot. Felt himself going sideways. The execution just looked tired there. He's running back behind teammates, so he lets it go, and Thaiday comes up with the fumble. So they get a second chance. You don't get many of these. They've got to make it work this time.
Well, it's a Queensland feed here. Luke Lewis has been ruled to have passed it forward.
Wow.
So that's the first infringement.
Wait. Leave it clear.
No, that's a fair call. That was my interpretation on first sight. I'm pretty sure the man with the whistle got it right. Here's Scott. In the middle of the ground on the 30-metre line. The Queensland with a 6-point lead and 12 minutes of the Origin series to go. Teo. Just outside his own red line in the middle of the ground. Here's Greg Inglis running at Gallen and Williams and Grant. And he's put down on the halfway line. Played back to his captain, who's been brilliant again tonight, Smith. Most capped of the number 9s ever in Origin. You'd have to mount a very, very big argument to say that he hasn't been the best. Here's Jennings.
Coming in to help out the forwards. Sam Thaiday was cramping up. Corey Parker out there now as Ben Cray makes his way to the sideline, and Greg Bird takes the ball forward towards his own 40.
So Bird playing the ball, and here's Pearce mounting something down the right side. Hayne, show, go, Lewis, passes, got the ball, Pearce taken by Inglis and nearly got away. The Blues then attacking, 12 metres out from the line. Carney finds Farah, gives it to Williams, and Tony Williams is away from a couple, stands in another, gets it to Farah. Farah puts a kick out, deliberately looking to the centre. Morris over the top.
Oh, yeah.
Morris over the top. He has scored, I think. Josh Morris, I think, has scored for the Blues. But this is touch and go.
Oh, on first look, Ray, Josh Morris appeared to have got over the top of Darius Boyd here. He's confident. His teammates are confident. And Josh Morris has had an outstanding series, especially defensively. He is onside. Again, there's a question mark on the option here from Robbie Farah. But it is over the head. Morris gathers it in.
Oh, it's a try.
And gets the ball down. Oh, has he got the ball down? Well, hang on. I'm not sure whether he's got the football down before his shoulder hits the line.
Ooh, let's have a look at this then.
No,
it's a try.
Yeah, no, it comes up.
Yeah, no, Josh Morris has got, I don't know that Darius has got a complaint to lodge here, really. There's a contest for the ball.
They're just a little worried that Morris has bobbled this into Darius Boys' shoulder.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. No, it sort of rests on it. He's got hold of it. Then he gathers it. That's down. That's a try. Big kick coming up for Carney.
Gee, there's a rule, I can't quite remember it, where a ball that comes to rest on a punt. It's a try anyway. Josh Morris has scored. This match, I warned you, so it's not after the event, is not over. Now we stand by for the kick of the career of Carney. The kick of the career of Carney from the T-bar at the 20, from the western side, into a sea of maroon behind the uprights. It's on its way. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. It is good. Carney has leveled it. Carney has leveled. Are we heading for what, our third golden point game?
There's a long way to go yet. There's still 9 minutes before golden point. But that's a hell of a fight back from the Blues, who've had no field position all second half, thanks to some great play by Queensland. But Morris has given the Southern State some hope on the Keno replay. A great leap and a tremendous kick from Todd Carney, a career kick.
Ball taken by Pearce. Now they've got to get this set right. Queensland will be saying the same thing in the same position. And that is Craig with the headgear and a 20-centimetre cut stitched underneath it.
Without any restarts from either side, both teams will have about 4 or 5 uses of the football to come up with the match-winning play.
Bird, another splendid performance by the Gold Coast Titans. Greg Bird plays it so tough. He's made for Origin. Pearce raking it down in the direction of Tate. Tried to heal it, and it's cost him time and cost them territory.
Well, it was a bad kick, but turned into a good one because Tate missed it. And well backed up by some good chase down the left there. Jennings.
Now, who can go to the line? The strongest or the stronger? Nielsen held, put down 22 out from his line. Miles, who's laboured all night, to the 30-metre line. 4 gone for Queensland. Now, Scott. Oh, Craig hit him hard. His head went jolting back. Didn't hurt him, though. He handed it down to Gillette, who Carney got with the second attempt. Played by Gillette. Passed by Smith for the kick from Cronk. Cronk gets the kick away before Bird was able to make the tackle. It'll go. No, it won't go dead. Morris, Brett, he brings it back. He brings it back 15 metres, which wasn't a bad trick for a ball that he thought was going to go dead. He'll play it on the 20-metre line down his own end of the park. Now, Hay, he's the sort of player, he or Jennings, they've got to get into some of this stuff that Morris, the 2 Morris boys, are providing from out on their extremities of the ground. Craig, he's put down. 42 metres out. 20 plays 20 in Origin 96 and the end of Series 31 in front of a capacity crowd at Suncorp Stadium. Here's Carney up to the 40-metre line. Taken by Cameron Smith and Corey Parker to the right side, and Pearce, he puts a kick into the corner. Inglis is across. He's going to watch it go dead. And it'll come out to the 20 for the restart.
Oh, wow. Just too much there, Peter, eh?
It looked good off the boot. Just accelerated towards the dead ball line. And both sides now have to be extremely disciplined.
And it's all about planning from here. They've got to work into good field position, Queensland. They know that they're under enormous pressure. They've got to get a good kick and chase game going. Put the pressure back on the Blues, bringing the ball away from their line.
Hodges doing what he does so often and so well. And he's got his feet locked under there. Crowd wanted a penalty. And Miles reversing up the ground.
One good surge here just might get them in range, although it's a slow play, the ball.
Miles slowly, and Shillington is the next carrier. So they're on the last tackle, and Cooper's gone for a long-range shot. Oh, it's got plenty of distance. My goodness gracious me, what a kick. What a kick from Cooper.
Now the game's starting. Get ready for the short kick-off.
Well, in past years, they'd be looking for Darren Lockyer to take control and come up with something. Well, Cooper Cronk has just come up with, if Todd Carney a career goal from the sideline, it's a career drop kick from Cooper Cronk. Started his career in Origin off the bench. This year, steps into the main role.
It could be said that Cooper Cronk went plonk, and the Maroons have gone to a one-point lead.
It could be said, Ray, but don't, please.
This is Shillington.
Still a ways to go.
There's an age to go. 5 minutes, in fact. Miles on the 30-metre line to his captain, Parker, to the 40-metre line.
And the crowd are in voice.
You can feel the confidence of each team as this match seen either of them score, their confidence goes up. Now the Maroons in the ascendancy, playing with confidence, playing with newfound energy. Friday, 35 away, and it is Smith who gives it to Thurston. Thurston decides to kick. He's got Boyd coming through hard. Hayne was there, came down with the ball. Hayne will play it back in the corner that he's defending.
Still well done by Queensland. They got the ball off the kick-off and they give it back to the Blues. 5 metres out from their own line in the corner. They're a long way from where they need to be.
21-20 and Josh Morris is hurt. Clock stops with 4 to go.
Video referee will have an inspection here of contact. Let's have a look. Bang.
Yeah.
Right on the chin. This will be a penalty from Shillington.
Yeah.
And that's what I was talking about earlier, discipline. Can't afford to give away penalties. Especially at 21-20 with 4 minutes to go. 4 minutes and 1 second.
What an amazing series. Amazing series.
Fantastic. Comes down to the last couple of minutes. The pressure, not just on the players, it's on the referees to make a call. But this could be an expensive 20 or 30 metres that Queensland give away should they be penalised. Once the Blues go into the attack, they'll be into Queensland's half.
It's going on report.
He's on report. David Shillington striking the head of Josh Morris in making the tackle. So they will come out of their own 10-metre zone. Pearce finding the line, 25 out. 21-20, 3 3/4 to go. 3 3/4 minutes of the series to go. 3 3/4 minutes away from Queensland winning their 7th premiership, if the score remains as is. He said a few years ago, Big Mal, we can make it 10. Here's Lewis driving down the right side. Morris was there and he's outside, played at the halfway. Farrell's coming back towards Morris. He's got Hayne on his outside. He's dragged close to the sideline by Thurston on the 30-metre line. Oh, he lost the ball! Robbie Farrell. Well, he's not happy. I didn't see what happened exactly, but suddenly he's come up without the ball, and the Maroons fans, they sense victory now.
Well, it was a really good set of 6 up to that point by tackle 4. They're only 30-odd metres out. They could have gone to the middle and looked for the levelling field goal. But a little bobble in the play the ball. Robbie Farah, he's dropped it. He's looked at the referee and dropped it.
Well, Queensland are going to start 30 metres out from their own line. Their game plan from here is simple. Surely they'll just work it. They won't be too concerned about gaining territory, but they'll be putting the ball into touch, I believe, from this 5th tackle. They know that the Blues from here should only get 6 tackles, so they've got to keep it deep inside their opponent's territory.
Here's Greg. Oh, tried to step them and he almost did.
Yeah, Paul Gallen got him by the shorts there. 8 miles a game.
I can only deduce that Farah thought that he'd been fouled by Thurston.
He was put off by Thurston pushing him towards the sideline just before he played it, but he had no right to blow up because he made the error.
Here is Ben Teo. He'll play it in the middle of the ground, 40 metres out from the Blues line. Smith to Cronk. Thaidays looming up. Cronk's through the gap. Gallen closing it at the very last moment. Smith, Thurston goes out to Hodges. Hodges going towards the corner post. He's 5 metres away from it.
Well, this is it. The Blues have got to go 60 or 70 metres in 5 plays and get themselves in position. They're a long, long way away.
There's plenty of space wide. Queensland have got a restricted line in defence.
Farah. Here's Carney. He's kicked. It's been pre-rehearsed. Hayne is after it. Hayne's got the ball. Hayne has marked the ball and Boyd has marked Hayne.
What a play.
Greg Bird playing the ball. I think the trainer's trying to get the game held for the injured Hayne, but it's gone to Williams, gone to Jennings. Jennings tries to sprint down the left side, and he'll play the ball on the 40-metre line. Under 1 minute to go in the Origin. Away from Pearce, back to Gallen, and Gallen ring the Maroon around him.
Here it comes. They're trying to go for golden point here with Mitchell Pearce to the right.
So here's the shot. Pearce takes it. It's got the length. It's not got the direction, though. That was the last roll of the dice. That was the last toss of the coin. The Queenslanders in their thousands at Suncorp rejoice. Seven-a-Seaver goes out a winner.
Well, the time's been blown off. They're still going to have to burn up 2 tackles here. Everything is about ball security. They can't take any chances.
21 seconds then. And it's gone to David Shillington to eat one of them up.
You know, they'll be showing a pass that could be intercepted while here is.
I'd actually be kicking the ball backwards over my own dead ball line, Sterlo. It'd take an extra 40 seconds to have the drop kick out. You'd burn everything out of the way.
Thurston slow. Smith. He probably will get... No, he won't get to play the ball. He rinsed the ball into the crowd on the eastern side. Origin is over. Queensland retain the championship. 7 in a row, 21-20. And Mal has eclipsed Gus Gould's winning individual record. From 14, he goes out to 15. Petro, it's official now, has retired from Origin. You are entitled, Paul Gallen, to take a deep breath. You were magnificent. Magnificent in defeat. Courageous and inspirational. The captain of the Blues. He looks absolutely shattered. Keep in mind, he came in to Origin as this dynasty of Queensland started back in 2006. He hits it, he's got it!